Huh.
Everybody could please have a seat and get your computers fired up, please.
Better than some things it could be done. It says better than some, it's a better life. I just heard, see, I don't know what the vendor.
You got it.
Sound to.
How are we looking? Has everybody got their computers online?
I have 4.
You're hearing James watching. My computer is not ready. So please wait.
Okay.
I wait well.
Should I call who's left?
Sure.
Oh, I'm still looking for yours.
Your computer.
Computer connected. I see them working on it. I'm sorry. I see them working on it. Just
It's okay.
Paula. Larry, is yours working? And Michelle.
Well, Larry's not either. Hold on, my IT's working on it.
Wait on.
Thank you. I'll go check Paula.
Okay, I took you off the naughty list.
For anyone online wondering what's going on, I've called the meeting to order, but we're still waiting for our personal laptops to hook up to the system.
She's restarting. I'll just mark her as present.
Well,
till we
Larry,
get to- Oh, Larry, I don't have you.
Well, because he's, I don't know how to answer that one. You need real IT.
I'll be able to get back in that.
Hold on. Meredith. She did, yeah.
no,
It's like that show where it's like you go in.
Paula's the only one now.
Now it's just Paul. Well, that's not bad. Well, I fixed Larry. I'm proud.
Thank you. Technical difficulties at times. And I'm marking her present. It has you back. Just
Okay, it looks like everybody's up and running. Meeting's been called to order. There will be no invocation today. Pastor Tennant was unable to make it. So let's just have a little moment of silence, perhaps to reflect on how this country can heal, get over this major political divide we seem to be having nationwide. Okay, if everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next up is roll call. Everybody is marked as present. Communications and announcements. I looked at the sign-up sheet. There's nobody signed up from the public. Do any board members have any communications they would like to share? Ms. Hodak?
Yes, in regard to our clergy coming in and giving the invocation, I ran into Pastor Truen. I believe he's retired, but he still is Pastor Truen, and he said he would be willing to come
Okay.
to do that. So if you want to put his name on the short list that
Sure.
we have.
Yeah, I just got notice this morning he wasn't going to be able to make it, so
Okay,
otherwise I probably would have
sure.
pursued getting somebody else, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Mr. Kopish?
Yeah, along with that, I noticed, I don't see an invocation on here. Was it taken off?
It's right under call to order.
Where are we?
You're on the wrong one, aren't you?
Oh, I got the wrong agenda. I'm sorry.
Gotta get in the game.
I got too many agendas. I'm worried about abstaining.
No problem.
Thank you.
Senior moment perhaps?
Anybody else? Okay, presentations and employee recognitions. There are none today, so Ms. Pascal will not be here. Obviously, she isn't. Moving on, I'm going to open up the public hearing. The time is 9:07 regarding the provisions of section 65.903A of the Wisconsin statutes. Public hearing on the proposed budget for Price County for the year 2026. Is there anybody in the public that has any comments regarding the budget? Is there anybody online that would like to comment on the 2026 budget? *6 to unmute if you care to make a comment. Hearing none. There's no board members that have any comment right now. We'll go ahead and close this meeting. It's 9:08. Public hearing closed. Next up, approval of the minutes from October 14th, 2025. Looking for a motion to approve. Motion by Hodak, second by Polachek. Any discussion? No discussion noted. All of those in favor? Or I guess I don't have to say that because I got the computer. We'll go ahead and vote.
And the minutes passed 13 yes, 0 no.
Next up, ordinances. Ordinance requiring the use of parcel identification number on all documents submitted for recording pertaining to real estate. This came from the executive committee. Whereas parcel identification numbers allow a uniform system of indexing and tracking of parcels of land and so on. Therefore, the Price County Board of Supervisors does ordain as follows. Any conveyance as described in Wisconsin Statute 706.014 or any document containing a legal description of any interest in real estate shall contain reference to the parcel identification number of the parcel affected. If the document is for a newly created parcel for which a parcel identification number has not yet been assigned, reference shall be made to the parcel identification number of the parent parcel from which the new parcel was created. The Price County Register of Deeds shall not accept for recording any document of any interest in real estate which does not contain the parcel identification number. This ordinance shall take effect as the date of publication. Motion by Erickson, second by Barkstrom. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are there many
Tracy.
are there many parcels without numbers? I guess. I mean,
I'm going to let the Register of Deeds handle that if you don't mind, Sylvia.
are there a lot of parcels without actual numbers? Is that a very common thing?
It isn't. All of our parcels in Price County do have parcel identification numbers. What this ordinance is requiring is that those parcel identification numbers are now included on all documents that are submitted for real estate. And the reason that we've asked for this ordinance is because our land record system will now be able to interface with our new tax lister program and treasurer receipting program. So this way, when we can have those PIN numbers up front on the recording documents, they can transfer over to the real property lister without extra manual entry.
Sure. Okay. It smooths the process, basically. Okay.
Mr. Hastings?
Do we still have the registered of deeds on backup on paper? Or is everything digital now?
Sure. So in 2004, all the Register of Deeds documents went electronic. So anything prior to 2004, we do have hard copy, but all of our documents are backed up to the mid 1800s. So we have both copies, they're all backed up, but ever since 2004, all the documents that we receive, we do only have an electronic image.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Thank you, Sylvia. We can go ahead and vote.
And the ordinance passed 13 yes, 0 no for ordinance number 2025-06, requiring use of parcel identification numbers on all documents.
Moving on to resolutions. 2025 property tax levy. Be it resolved by the Price County Board of Supervisors duly assembled in annual session this 12th day of November 2025 that the budget prepared by the Executive Committee, which has been approved by action of the Price County Board of Supervisors, be and hereby levied against the tax districts of Price County, and that the county clerk be and hereby is authorized and directed to appropriate the levy to each tax district as provided by law. 2025 property tax levy payable in 2026, $13,565,509. Looking for a motion to approve. Motion by Polachek. Second by Barkstrom. Any discussion from the board, or Nick, you want to take it over for a little while here?
Just before you guys start your discussion, if you want to have discussion, there is one change that you'll see from the last board meeting. So we didn't know under bridge and culvert aid, we in there had a negative balance because last year we collected prior to a project being done. So we keep that in a segregated fund. What happened was we were going to put that as a negative balance because we're paying all the things off and we didn't need to collect additional funding. However, when we got our paperwork from the state, we're not allowed to put a negative balance in that line item. So it rejects our putting a negative balance. So we had to change bridge and culvert aid to 0. And then what that'll do is for next year, you'll see that savings again. So we'll have a negative or a positive fund balance. We'll have additional cash that we've collected for one more additional year. So next year, if there's more projects, we'll be able to reduce the levy again one more year. So instead of doing it all 1 year, you do it over 2 years. So instead of the total change in the levy being 1.02%, it ends up being 1.29%. So that 0.2, whatever that 7, will come off of next year's levy. So you'll be able to reduce next year's levy by 0.27 approximately. So that was the only, we didn't know, we've never had a negative. So until we got the paperwork, we didn't know you couldn't do a negative collection on that.
Any other discussion? Mr. Polachek.
I just had a comment. I would like to thank Carrie and Nick for their hard work on the budget. Remember in years past, it was real heartburn when we get to the budget time and they take that away from us. Thank you, both of you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I agree.
I was going to wait till you guys voted to thank everybody, but that works.
Any further discussion, comments?
Did that change the mill rate much then, or no?
Yeah, it did change it. We're now negative 7.73% mill rate or 0.46 cents lowering.
Okay.
Carrie, do you remember what it's a couple pennies. If
Wasn't
that,
much?
yeah,
Okay.
it didn't change that much. And again, this is the county-wide mill rate. This is not what you would charge on your tax bill, because that's through apportionments, gets a whole nother number. This is like our report card. Are we going up? Are we going down? Where are we?
So there's a lot of money being spent here. You want to give us a brief overview? Or has everybody had enough of what having to do with the budget?
It's up to you guys.
Everybody's good?
You guys say I
How
talk too
about,
much.
how about this? So
Yeah.
you want to really muddy the waters and tell us how your evaluation and property
Do you want to
going
vote
up?
first and then we'll talk about that? Yeah. Because it won't affect anything, but we can, it's up to you. Do you want me to talk about
Yes,
that?
please,
Yeah. So we,
briefly.
well, not we, but Register of Deeds, the Treasurer's Office has received quite a few calls this year. I believe a lot of municipal treasurers and board members also. We're seeing a reassessment of the county. So 7 municipalities right now are reassessing. That does not affect your tax bill in the way people assume it affects your tax bill. I can't guarantee your taxes won't go up or down, but what it does is if everybody rises the same, so back up one, we set the mill rate, or we set the total levy at $13 million. We get a number from the state that says you need to divide to each one of the municipalities this percentage. So if you look at Worcester, last year they paid 14.25% of the total amount. This year they're going to pay 13.75. I don't know exact numbers, but it is reducing. Yeah, but what the general gist is, that is more of a change to your tax bill than your assessment, because we're now saying as a county, your municipality needs to collect less in Worcester than it did last year. So everybody in the municipality will collect less. The assessment that you received in your municipality, if every neighbor, so like I look at Town Elk, we all got reassessed. I looked at mine, it went up 46%. My neighbors though went up 60%. So my taxes technically mathematically will probably go down because they're taking on a bigger burden at 64% increase and mine took on a 46% increase. So that just means we were out of balance amongst each other, amongst your peers. So your assessment is to reassess how you and your neighbor are paying the total allocated amount. So same with schools, same with NTC, same with your municipality. The assessment is to tell you how you are being charged amongst your peers. Now we're seeing a lot. We had a call yesterday, an individual called and said, mine's going to go up 99%, or it went up 99.7%. So this individual paid $10,000 in taxes already. And they were like, I'm going to pay $20,000 in taxes. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Look at your neighbor. They also went up 99.some%. So overall, your mill rate will go in half because you've doubled. You're paid close to the same. Now it maybe go up $1 or $2. I don't know what schools are going to do if you have a referendum, or your municipality, that the one that Carrie was walking around and kind of pointing out, that determines your taxes more than anything. How much your municipality needs to collect percentage wise of the whole. So again, Worcester last year had like a 1.5% increase. That's why everybody in Worcester saw big gains. This year they went back down. I think it was like 0.75. So they should see a reduction even though they got reassessed. We've had a lot of, the treasurer's been doing great at this, Marina, the deputy, Register of Deeds. It's until your bill comes out, I work in it every day, they work in it every day. We cannot calculate your tax bill until all the numbers are in. And all the numbers aren't in until your municipality has their budget hearing, the schools have their budget hearing, we have our final budget. NTC has put out their numbers, so we know NTC, but until everybody does it, you don't know where the mill rate's going to go for your tax bill.
Clear as mud, right?
I have a good presentation on it that I did it.
I guess in a nutshell, the bottom line is even though your valuation went up, doesn't mean your
Assessment,
I should say assessment went up, doesn't mean your taxes aren't necessarily going to go up by that same percentage.
Unless you were if you were way undervalued compared to your neighbors, just means for several years you paid less of your share of the taxes and now you're being caught up. That's the biggest ones we see. I think we had one person call and was like, mine went up 3,000%. Well, but if you look at it, they had a house on it, had all this, and it was valued at 15,000. Well, that's not a good assessment for what it was for 5 years. So for 5 years, you paid $1,000. Now you're going to pay equitably between your neighbors. And it's tough. I get it.
Any other comments or discussion regarding the budget? Mr. Kopish?
Well, it's more a comment on the assessed value. Town of Lake, I think reassessed 2 years ago or a year or so ago. And it looks on this current sheet, we're already out by
Out of compliance.
18%.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
The
that's a good
equalized
point.
values
So-
are just going crazy.
Right. So the state sets your equalized value, which has to be within 10% of your assessed value. So the assessor goes around when the municipality pays for it. That's probably the biggest hurdle assessors have. Municipalities don't want to pay for assessments every year to keep up with equalized value. So it's actually market value. There's a whole nother term in there. It's a fair market value, has to be close enough, whatever. So equalized value, market value, and assessment all come up with a number. It's got to be within 10%. Most municipalities that already did their assessment within the last 3 years are out of compliance by 10%. They have 5 years to come within compliance. Well, can you imagine they're already out of compliance after 2 years and say they're 15% off? If you wait another 5 years until you're forced to do it, you're going to be another 40% or 50% off if things continue the way they are. The way your equalized value gets adjusted is based on economic enhancers, as they're called. So what happens is the state looks at the number of sales in that municipality. If they can't get enough sales in that municipality, they go out one municipality to start looking at sales and then go, we're going to give the town of Elk a 0.6 enhancer or 1.6 enhancer. And then they take the equalized value and enhance that equalized value by that number. That's how we get the new apportionments of what the equalized value is, which then causes your assessments to be out of compliance. So I think we had all but like 4 municipalities were out of compliance last year or 2 years ago. We haven't caught up. And I think I've talked to the assessors and some of the municipalities. The biggest hurdle is it's really expensive. So unless you're willing as a municipality to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year to keep that number up, you're going to fall 40, 50% behind. And then when you do, you go through this headache that we're all hearing right now where my assessment doubled, my assessment tripled. Well, that's because you were just out of compliance. It has nothing to do with the county's going to collect a whole bunch more and spend it. It's just everybody, all the tide rose with everybody. Some are going to get picked out because you built something and the assessor missed it, or lake properties may not have increased as much, or there's little things, but in general, 20,000 foot view, the tide has all gone up for all the places in that municipality.
Michelle?
I know I put my hand up. Good draw. So in the nonprofit and community partners, county tourism.
Yep.
Why is it just Phillips?
So we used to work with the chamber in Park Falls and the chamber in Phillips. We have an MOU. We changed that MOU in 2022. Park Falls was going through a lot of transition. What they were originally doing is Park Falls and Phillips had a council of their own that said, okay, how are we going to spend it? So they would work together saying we want to do, it had to be woods, waters, trails, natural resources. That's what the MOU says. It has to be used for that. It's not for Phillips. It's for the county. And what was happening was Park Falls was going through a bunch of transitions, so they didn't have a director. And so at that time we said, okay, Phillips, you direct those advertisements for woods, waters, all that stuff. And we work with them. They still communicate with Park Falls. We just write the check to Phillips and they give us a list of what they spent that $30,000 on for those advertisements.
So is Park Falls seeing any of those funds?
No, they wouldn't have. They never would have before. What it was is like Park Falls would get 15 and the past would get 15. It was not meant for them to run their office. It was meant for them to advertise woods, waters, and stuff. So right now they work together to say, we want to put a snowmobile ad in Iowa. It covers the whole county. It doesn't cover Phillips. It covers the county. So that it was never meant for them to run their chamber. It was meant for advertisement. That's what the MOU is.
Mr. Holstein, do you have anything to
No,
add?
I'm really
as far
not.
as
I'm-
because you're a member of the Phillips Chamber.
It does get divided up. They did pass money back and forth. So if like Phillips spent 20,000, like we used to give 15 and 15. If Phil spent $20,000 in advertisement, Park Falls would have to write him a check for 5,000 to pay back that because they were both hanging on to it. So it had nothing to do with them personally using it for the municipality.
Mr. Hastings.
There was embezzlement going on in Park Falls, and Tammy was the chamber president for that time, and she canceled it because there was no way to actually figure out how it was getting embezzled. I think maybe we can give them their money back as a group decision.
It's not their money though. That
No, I know.
yeah. It was.
I'm
There's
sorry
an
you can't
MOU.
understand what I'm asking. Can we get Park Falls to?
Yeah, and they do. They participate. So Jonathan and I can't remember the chamber director in Park Falls. What is it? Courtney. They get together to say how they want to spend it. And so instead of two people writing checks for random things, it's just one writing the check for Price County.
Fiscal agent.
Yeah, they're the fiscal agent rather than they don't receive it to do anything.
Mr. Holstran.
So right now, what that money is and what it was then was primarily the visitor's guide. All right, putting the visitor's guide together and publishing that. Phillips is doing 99% of the work on that yet to this day. And Courtney is getting some ads and she's going to get reimbursed for the percentage of ads that she gets. Now, as that relationship goes a little bit deeper, hopefully it will be split a little bit more. But right now, most of that work is being done by the Phillips Chamber. And the other thing that some of the funds are going for is the Enjoy Price County website, which is a countywide and it advertises everything in Phillips. It advertises Kennon, Ogama, Phillips, Park Falls, Fifield, every place. So that is the other place. And that's with a focus on woods, water and trails. So that's where the money is being spent. It just all goes to Phillips right now to manage the money, but it is being spent throughout the whole county. So
It sounds to me like everything is being focused on county advertising, even though the check's being written to Phillips. I'm not opposed to further discussion, but let's bring it back to a committee level and work our way back up if need. I think we can move on from that discussion right now.
Because I did speak with Darla and she was interested. So
Anyone else?
I do.
Yes, Mr. Hastings.
What is it possible, Nick, for you to tell me a percentage of what our equalized value in our county is TIF districts?
It's on that sheet it's like the bottom half. So it's Park Falls, Prentice just ended one.
Which sheet?
It should be on the apportionment sheet or the
Levy worksheet?
yeah, it's where it lists all the values of each municipality, and then on the bottom it lists the TIFs on the back of the page usually. Carrie will find it.
So it looks like this, equalized value.
It's like 4 columns, real tiny print by the state. This is state report.
Yeah, it's a state report.
Okay.
Show it this way, Carrie.
Show me.
So on the bottom, there should be
the very
1,
bottom
2.
shows the TIF.
There's 5 lines that have the TIFs, and I know Prentice closed one, but they opened another one. Yeah, I'm not. Brian, you're on that TIF board for Prentice.
TID.
TID. Oh, it's a TID. Well, yeah, TID and TIF. Yeah, TIFs are financial districts. That's for the cities to finance it. TIDs are what the taxes get.
It's not a huge issue. I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's in
if
there.
It's there. So
Yep.
Pages 14 and
I can look at it later. Thank you.
You're welcome.
appendix.
Any further discussion regarding the budget?
I
Yeah.
had a question back to Jason. What does Darla want? Sorry, and who's Darla?
Darla Isham
You
was
just
the-
said Darla wants and
she was the chamber president, the lady that runs the radio station.
okay. And what
She
is
was interested in getting some of the tourist money back.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just wanted to clarify what you had meant by that.
Sure.
So no, that's fine.
Yeah, I remember when it was a 50-50 split between
Oh, yeah, and
two chambers, and
yeah.
then Park Falls had issues, so.
Yeah, and it was never
I
meant
remember
for the
before Park Falls
chambers.
even having issues. Phillips had issues with the
Yeah.
chamber many years ago. I think Tammy remembers that back then too, probably 10, 12 years ago when I was on city council, and there was some issues too, and money went awry there too at that point in time. It happens. So
Yeah, and it's the biggest problem we had with Park Falls is a lot of it was we want to use it for Park Falls things, and it's
Yeah.
not for Park Falls. And that's we had some bumps in the road back then with the committee and how they wanted to spend
Well, the
it.
whole idea behind it was they were supposed to take over
Yeah,
when
they-
the county tourism department was disbanded, correct?
Yeah, really what they were is to do the advertising for the woods, waters, natural resources. And it got hard because they were communicating with each other, but one would say, "Oh, I just did $20,000 worth, but you only gave me 15." So then they'd have to go to Park Falls and get the 5,000 to offset it. It was never for them to do flamboramas and the winter festivals and things like that. It was only for advertisement. They give us a list of what those advertisements are and what the budget is each year. So, and they work together. Park Falls and Phillips do meet to discuss what that budget will be.
Mr. Kopish?
Yeah, just a comment. I think it makes sense to have a fiscal agent and have that money in one spot, and then the two chambers work together and how it gets spent. So I would advocate keeping it the way it is. Thank you.
I agree.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, we can have this discussion if need be at committee level. Anybody else regarding the budget in front of us?
Which committee?
I would say executive because it's
Okay.
a money issue.
Yeah.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, we'll go ahead and vote on the 2025 property tax levy and 2026 budget.
I'm sure there's also a whole list of where it's spent as well. Correct?
The chambers?
Yes.
Yeah, they have to
Yes.
produce a
Yeah,
budget.
they
each
have
year,
to
yeah.
give us a report.
And I believe that Jonathan MacArthur, the Phillips Chamber Director, plans on attending our meeting, but we aren't gonna have one till.
Do every
He's got a whole
February.
presentation that he wants to do, just like Laura used to do, and
Yeah.
he'll come in and show just exactly where it's all being spent.
Okay, you have the vote?
Thank you. And resolution 33-25, the 2025 property tax levy passed 12 yes, 1 no, 0 abstain. Thank you.
Mr. Trimmer.
Echo what Larry kind of started, that this budget every year is difficult and we work really hard on it. So I need to thank Carrie over in this building, Carrie over in the Health and Human Services. She puts a ton of work into it. Sarah Soul up at the Highway Department, they get all the numbers, and all the department heads. So we have a very good culture going when it comes to budget. Our department heads know that it's not a free-for-all and they can't just ask for 100 things because it just won't come to fruition. We make lists. We work hard to get somewhere. We know we have a lot of hurdles coming up. We know we need more IT help. We know we need more accounting help. We know we need another mechanic up at the highway. We need Health and Human Services. We have a position that has like 70 cases when the average is 30. So we have a long way to go with our budget, but I need to thank all the department heads and Carrie for making it happen. So each year.
I'd like to echo that. It's quite the juggling act, trying to get everybody to not have to increase their budget. And then there's always the unknowns, especially in Health and Human Services, and there's nothing we can do about most of them. Okay. Thank you all. Moving on. Adopt revised Price County Administration Manual. Nick, I'll let you.
Yes.
Motion, well, sorry.
Go ahead.
Motion by Warco, second by Hodek. Now go ahead.
Yeah, so the administration manual is in front of you. The two areas we updated at admin were the social media policy and there was one other one. What was it? Cell phone policy, cell phone use, county cell phone use. So
I
those
don't
were
see it. Anybody got it?
What?
the admin manual. It's
So
the thicker one. There's not a red line changes ones on this, so you just have to flip to, social media would be on page 10.
How are we supposed to tell what's getting changed and if it's not?
It's all brand new. So page 10 through 12 is all new. Those are the two policies we've been working on for several months now. Social media policy, the major change there was that has to do with departments that have social media. Insurance required us to have a line in there that says if someone were to post something that shouldn't be on there, we as a county have the right to take it down. So it's just clarifying language with the social media. And then the county issued cell phone. We just clean that up so that when we issue cell phones,
Does anybody have this sheet that Nick is talking about?
it should be a whole packet.
There's not. There hasn't been since the agenda came out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I sent it over email and I'm printing those right now for you. So I'm very sorry. I have a copy here.
So we should postpone this till next meeting, right?
No, no.
That's up to you guys.
And then have to abstain. I know how much you guys like that.
Did you,
If I don't have enough information in front of me,
you got it on
It's up-
email? Yeah.
I mean, I can't
Unless you
read
want
it.
to look at it now, or you want to? Anybody else have any comment regarding that?
Well, I agree. I'd like to see it.
I make a motion to postpone it then.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Motion by Kopish. Second by Hastings.
Yeah, Hodak opposed. Could you give us a reason?
Wait a minute. Don't put my name in there. I didn't say it out loud. No, I
Sorry, your
said,
mic wasn't on. You spoke it to me.
Okay,
I have to amend that.
the clerk is, putting something together here for us to vote on.
So that was Kopish and Hodak.
Kopish and Hastings. Yes, Mr. Braca.
I believe the clerk said that she sent that out electronically. When did you send that out?
I sent it with the board packet.
Thank you.
And I do also have to print the other policy packets. So I don't know.
I didn't see it in the packet. I'm just saying.
Okay. Yeah, it was an attachment. So I attached the administration manual, the employee handbook, and the supervisor policy and procedure manual electronically. So those are not, I don't believe were stuffed in your mailboxes, but they're electronic. But I can have those printed for you now.
Next meeting would make.
and I
sense.
believe you also add on to that, if anybody wants them printed, you would print them for them.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yes.
Mhm. And I do have the official copy attached to the resolution. So,
Mr. Palachek.
I read through it online and there was no changes in red on what was online. Going forward, I would like to have a printed copy of that, please.
definitely will. I'm very sorry. Mhm.
Okay, not a problem.
No, I agree, but I guess for this particular revision, they were brand new. What it wasn't, we weren't told it was brand new because I looked at it online too, and it was like, what's changed here? But
Yeah.
those pages were added. They're actually not revision. We weren't revising something that was already printed in the manual, but that was not to be understood the way it was emailed.
In the past, we've always had the changes in red.
Correct.
and
Yeah.
Going forward,
There was nothing to change basically because it was all an addition. But it was not noted, so we didn't know. I was looking for red too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, even whatever is new, I would like printed in red or green.
Sure.
Thank you.
Are we ready to,
The motion was to postpone it, correct?
yeah,
Yeah, Jason
Better
made the motion.
backwards.
Jason made the motion, Bob seconded. Yeah.
I have to go back. Let me see if that works.
It's right here. It's right here.
Mhm.
It's all on here. Right, all of the stuff is here. Oh, I don't have the motion. No, thank you.
Well, I'm gonna throw something else out here. Numbers 2, 3, and 4. Do you want to make a motion to postpone all 3 of those?
Absolutely.
We have a summary page for the handbook one that I can show. Cause those, we made more
Meredith.
things that would probably be for January 1 that I can show you.
Does this lead us to having needing a December meeting then? Does this need to be done by the end of the year? So
Well,
we have to
I
have
don't
a
know.
December
The
board
summary
meeting?
page for like the handbook one, that is redlined. I can either show it or we can print it because it's 2 pages. The administration manual, that one can wait. That's been the social media and the self
Okay, we'll
one
do
hasn't
them
been an issue.
individually then.
Yeah,
Avoid confusion. Okay,
I don't know what the other one.
we're voting
is.
right now to postpone resolution number 2 until at least the next full board meeting. Go ahead and vote. Okay. Everybody's voted.
And the postponement for resolution number 2, the administration manual passed 9 yes, 4 no.
Okay, we'll bring it up next meeting and hopefully everybody will be informed better then.
Next, we got our February meeting.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, resolution number 3, adopt a revised Price County Employee Handbook. That's came from administration also.
So
Just
I
referred to that. Go
I
ahead.
put up on the board the red line changes. So the first one was under wages and other forms of compensation. Under beeper pay, we right now don't have a lot of individuals that can be on call to do certain services. And we're currently training the Adult Protective Services Unit to help out with the Behavioral Health Unit. In order for them to be eligible for the beeper pay, we needed to add in Adult Protective Services Unit. They won't be trained till January 1st, but this would be one where it'll give us, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 more individuals that'll be in rotation so that the 2 or 3 people that are currently on rotation don't have to do every week. So it'll add to it. Under section 8 of holidays, it was discussed that because there was no wage increase, we looked at what other counties, what was going on, and what employees used to get. They recommended adding President's Day as the holiday in, was it February, March,
Yeah.
February. So that would be an additional day closed. It's usually really quiet here because that is a federal holiday, so people assume the building's closed. Under 10, payroll and accounts payable, 1 week mandatory vacation. So we put this policy in a couple of years ago to help detect if we have backups in place, anything fraudulent that could be going on. So we had some issues where employees, instead of writing down what needs to be done for their backup, they would just do everything the week before, and then the backup wouldn't have to do anything that week. So we want to clarify that the person shall not do their work before they go on vacation, because we want the backup to be able to have to learn the work and have manuals in place to be able to do the things that if they were to be gone. Under section 22, benefits miscellaneous. Under social workers certificates, we currently pay for social workers. So if we hire an individual with a 4-year degree that doesn't have a social worker certificate, we give them 1 year to receive that social worker certificate, and we pay for that schooling. We've never had a problem with this, but we just wanted it on paper that says that before we pay you back. So you pay to go to school and then we pay you back, but we want proof of a passing grade before we'd pay you back. That was the intent. We just didn't write it down. Again, we haven't had a problem with this. It was just clarifying.
How many times has this been utilized, Nick?
3 or 4. Yeah. 4. Yeah. It's worked really well for us because we were struggling to recruit social workers. So now we can recruit them with 4-year degree, but then get them their certificate. It usually takes a year. They take classes on nights and weekends, and we thank them for it. Under expenses reimbursement, we were having troubles with employees hoarding or holding on to their receipts and then losing them or not having the right receipts. So we are implementing, or we're recommending an implementation that if you go on a conference or have any expenses, you have 15 days to turn those in. One, you'll get paid sooner. So if you put it on your credit card or whatever, you can reimburse yourself. But two, it just keeps our books cleaner so that we don't have at the end of the year somebody turn in $1,000 worth of receipts and mileage and then find out like, oh, they shouldn't have went on that last conference because they have no money in their meals, miles, and traveling account. So this just keeps everybody up to date. It's same thing on that requesting of reimbursement, just added 15 days. And then we now do electronic time cards, and in there we can do our mileage. And so we needed to put a clarifying statement that says when you're putting your mileage, you need to put the destination and what you went there for. So like Phillips to Wisconsin Dells for the WCA conference. People were just putting mileage. When we get audited, the auditors would look at this and be like, you just have a random 100 miles. What's that for? So this just cleans that process up. Cell phone use, telephone use. So in our employee handbook, we made a statement that says, make sure you know the administrative handbook if you are issued a cell phone. Electronic media, again, the full policy of Price County social media account is outlined in the administration manual. And again, I want to make clear, this has nothing to do with your personal media. This is all for, like, this vet service has a Facebook, the Health and Human Services, both dogs have one, Sheriff's Department has one. It's the county social media. If you're responsible for that as an employee, these are the standards. Under code of ethics, sure. Oh.
So, two things now.
Use your mic, please.
No. I'll just talk louder. That's hard. It's hard. Okay. One, how many cell phones are like in the world? I mean, as far as county ones.
A lot. So our foresters have them, all our social workers, a lot of highway guys, all the sheriff's department, HR, myself, 40 plus, yeah. We have a lot. And now our new phone system will actually go through our cell phone. So like right now I have a physical phone on my desk. In the future, we'll get rid of that physical phone, which is quite expensive. I'll still have the same number, 5138. However, it'll get directed to my cell phone. So I'll always have my phone with me for work phone. Who else? Forestry, I said. There's quite a few out there. It has to be approved by our office, but if it's anything to do with work, we're going to give you the cell phone because we don't want you using your personal phone. We do have a couple personal / work phones out there. IT, because he's 24/7 and he just doesn't want to carry two phones. I understand it. The sheriff, he's elected, so he can make that choice. I carry two phones because I just don't want work and personal phone to be crossing over. It's a lot to do with records retention, records requests.
Okay. And then I guess my other question that comes up. So with the chamber doing ads and stuff like that, do they kind of fall into this, or is that like muddy, murky water that we don't
No,
really
they're just a
care?
contractor.
Okay.
Our contractors don't fall into that. Under code of ethics, unless there's more, section 32. This one came up because we're starting to see a lot. If you go to like WCA, if you go to WCMA, child support conference, any conference, highway conference, the conference tends to, if you stay for the whole thing, they'll do drawings. And so we used to have a thing where it was $25. So you got up to $25, but a lot of times they'll give away like a chocolate basket or something, and those are valued at more than $25. So the committee said, let's put the value at $250. After $250, you have to let the executive or myself know, the county Office of Administration, and then we would go to executive to see if you could keep that. So if you want a 3-day trip to wherever, I've never seen it that big, but there's been times where $25 just doesn't line up anymore with some of the stuff that they hand out they hand out a lot of like cups and stuff, and in today's world they're no longer under $25. So that's where that one came from, and that was everything in the handbook updated.
Okay, thank you. Got a motion from Hodek, second by Barkstrom to approve resolution 3. Does anybody else have any comment? Jeff, Mr. Hallstrand.
So when we were negotiating this, I brought up the idea, instead of President's Day, a floating holiday that the employee could use whenever they wanted. I know Nick does not like the idea, but
Or HR department, because it's a
in
nightmare.
HR, so that-
nightmare to. It's
so
a nightmare.
there's one more code we have to put in there. But I did hear from at least 3 different departments that said that was a good idea versus President's Day in the middle of winter.
Yeah, we had a conversation with Highway. We did
I'm just
move-
bringing it up to see if it's worthy of making a motion to amend it, or we just want to move forward.
No. For the sake of our payroll people.
Any comments regarding motion to amend? You can make the motion and see if you get a second, I guess.
I don't mind President's Day off because it's usually about my birthday. But that's just me.
I know,
Can go ice
I know
fishing
that
then?
we did have President's Day is in the bargaining agreement that Sheriff's Department as well, but I would feel remorse in my duties if I didn't bring it up for discussion, because I did hear from different departments that they thought it was a better idea than President's Day.
We came up with the President's Day because of it's really slow in the building, because it's a federal holiday. It breaks up that springtime, because otherwise you don't have anything for the first 4 months until you get to Easter. And so it used to be one of the negotiated holidays off.
And Highway had no objection to it.
Highway's only request was, and we do this a little different for Highway, is like they used to get New Year's Eve off. Now they get January 5th off because it tends to be a snow day. So they, instead of paying the holiday during that, it is what it is. I would rather, for payroll sake and just consistency, keep it as President Day, but I can understand the request.
Mr. Braca.
So for payroll, it's a concern for them. Just kind of give me some information on what is the difference between a floating holiday and them taking a vacation day? What would be the difference in process, I guess?
It would be tracking it would be the big thing. And then this way we just know that day everybody gets 8 hours, whether you work or not. So like the Sheriff's Department, they're going to get it. And everybody gets 8 hours on their time card. And then if they work, it's premium or not premium. It would be premium because they're working on a holiday. Same with the Highway Department. It was just, everybody gets the 8 hours. It keeps it consistent. It's a lot easier. The more days you give off, the harder it is to keep offices open because you're trying to shuffle around people. So this would just be consistency for the departments.
And you know where I'm going with this. I'm an old highway guy. So you work many holidays, many other things that everybody else typically gets off. So to have a holiday in an area where you may be working was hence the reason to do the day after the 4th of July. So just my thought process on it is, if we're doing it as a benefit to the employees, then we should be looking at it as a benefit to the employees, not what is easiest for us as administrative. Just my thought process.
It also disrupts workflow sometimes, because if everybody's off, you don't have to worry about somebody's working on a project and their person they're working with isn't there because they took their random floating holiday. So production wise, it does keep it smoother too. It's part of it.
So in my past life, I say this a lot at work, they could use their personal floating holiday whenever they wanted, but it went off of the vacation calendar. So if you were in the department and they couldn't use that day because I already had 4 people off, then they had to pick a different day for their personal holiday. But it didn't jeopardize who was all there. I think that there's a way to do it that makes it more as a benefit to the employees than just picking a day. I mean, it's not like kids are off of school that day. At least I know my kids aren't.
The big part is it closes the building. So then it just shuts it off and you don't have citizen. You just, everybody knows
Anybody else? Mr. Hastings.
all the new changes are in red here. Can we make that mandatory if anything new is in front of us? To put
In
it
the, in the
red?
past, we used to get that. I'm not sure this time why we didn't, but
Yeah.
in the past, we always did get that red. And I believe actually when Gene would do it every now and then, I believe, like Larry said, some stuff was green, so, it might have been the most recent change was green.
Oh.
And then the current change was red, I think she might have did like a 2-step thing where like what's changing now is red. What changed the last manual was green. And then like it even went to black then after like 2 rounds, we'll call it per se. So I think that's
And
pretty
we'll-
easy to go with.
We'll follow that procedure. I don't know if we need to make any kind of
No.
rule, and now's not the time to be
No.
doing it anyway. But we'll make sure it happens. Okay, no further discussion regarding resolution number 3.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to amend the President's Day to a floating holiday.
Motion by Hallstrand,
I'll second that.
second by Baratka. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll go ahead and vote as soon as the clerk sets it up.
You're gonna vote on the.
This is on the amendment, yeah. She's working on
She's typing it up.
it up. To float it.
The only other thing we'll have to do then is make
I got a feeling we'll go to 11
language
o'clock.
like do they have to use it within the year? Do they have to use it at a certain time? Do they have to use it? So there's a little bit more to a floating holiday. Again, I'm not to say yes or no.
It has to be used in the calendar year, correct?
Scheduled through the department head.
Yeah, it is harder, but yes,
Mr.
we
Chair.
can do it.
Mr. Baratka.
So this would probably go back to the committee to work those rulings out, but just my thought process would be the same as vacation. I mean, you would look at it as the same rules as vacation, because vacation you have to use within the year. You still have to get approval from department heads that you don't have too many people off for the workload that the department has. So again, if this amendment was to succeed, it would go back to admin to incorporate it
Figure out how to do
into
it.
how they're gonna implement it. So, like I said, I know it's a little bit more work. I know it's a little bit more difficult, but again, I think, if we're offering something to the employees as something for the employees, it should benefit them. Just my thoughts.
Go ahead,
Uh-oh.
Carrie.
You guys poked the bear now.
No, not really. I'm just sitting here thinking, and I know Joe is a highway guy. I'm thinking of jail. Their big department, this is going to mess up jail because it's already hard, their rotations and stuff. And if someone just like, all right, I know you guys think it's easy, like, oh, vacation schedule. It's not that easy for them. I'm not in the jail, and I don't know if Bob would like to talk about that, but I just know that jail side, this does make it
Here for
difficult.
them to just say this is a holiday, whether you
Yep.
work it or not, you
Yep.
get paid.
So that makes it harder. And then,
The
of
workers
course,
too. I mean,
social
social
workers too.
workers, it's like, cool, now we're done. We don't
Yep.
have to worry about clients. It's
Yep.
closed.
And
day.
who's going to be on call? Who's going to do the beeper pay? There's a lot more. Everybody, all the other departments. Yes, I know it affects holiday. It's in
I'd
highway. It's
rather-
in the
yeah.
winter.
I'd
But
ra- I was gonna say, I'd rather see just say, oh, highway instead of President's Day, they do.
yes,
Like, that's what Roger did come up and said, hey,
right.
it's during our normal winter time. Can we move it to a different day? I'd rather have the committee come back and look at that and move it for like
Right.
a department.
And that's what we
As
did
a
before.
Community so you're saying as a group and a whole, we get the second Monday of June off. Everyone is what you're saying.
Yeah.
To make it easier.
Well, but like President's Day, everybody has it off. But if there is major issue, because I 100% get that's why we moved the New Year's Eve day. But I'd rather work with highway to say, cool,
Mhm.
we know you do this. How do we get the benefit somewhere else? They're still getting a benefit. They're getting paid 8 hours a holiday in February if they want it, or well, if we had this. I'd rather work with one department to change it than disrupt all the others. But I guess I didn't think of jail because
Yeah.
that one is easier
That-
where it's
Yep.
you're scheduled your shifts And whether you work on a holiday or not, you just get that 8 hours of pay. So they almost act like they don't have holidays.
Right.
It's just an extra bonus pay for the year of 88 hours.
Mr. Erickson,
Question, are there personal days? Do they have personal days anyway?
No.
You do not have personal days,
No, just vacation and sick.
just vacation. Is there a term limit as far as for vacation? Do they have to put in for a certain days ahead of time?
For jail, yes, they do.
Yeah. Most,
Most-
our handbook says you have to give
Yes.
a 2-week notice to use your
Yep.
vacation.
Yep.
A lot of departments don't, if it works with their schedule, cool,
Right.
take the day off.
But I know like highway and jail, I think there's a little bit more, there's more schedule, and same with social workers and stuff. There's more schedule. Some of our other smaller departments, we don't have those schedules.
okay, we've heard both sides of the issue here. I guess we'll vote on this amendment as presented. And then when we get back to the, whether it's amended or not, the original resolution, we'll decide how we want to go from there as far as if we're going to let individual departments have floaters or not have floaters, or how that's going to work. So if there's no more discussion on the amendment, that would be to, instead of President's Day, make it a floating holiday for county employees. I'll let you go ahead and read it so the verbiage is recorded.
Motion to amend the Resolution 3, adopt revised Price County Employee Handbook to amend President's Day to a floating holiday for county employees.
Mr. Hallstrand,
Could I add to that the verbiage that says pending procedure from administration committee?
We would just have to do it like that. That's.
Yes, pending procedural.
So I guess I would ask, what is the pending procedural to have administrative relook at that day and come up with another proposal as far as whether they're just gonna do it like highway, like Nick talked, or I guess what's the pending procedural are you talking about?
And my thought is that's for the administration committee to decide how it gets implemented. I think the simplest way would be it's scheduled exactly like a vacation day. You have to go to your department head, you have to schedule it, it has to be worked in. That's then the jail, the highway. But I think that's what administration gives us a procedure for utilizing that floating holiday.
Okay,
Mr. Kopish.
Thank you.
Well, why don't we just give everybody an extra day of vacation
Oh.
instead of a floating holiday?
That's what we're doing.
I mean, that's basically what you're doing.
You're making it way too easy.
I'm sorry.
well,
Basically, that's what we're doing.
You
Yeah,
can't leave.
We don't do PTO because.
You put Bobby over the edge. He's walking out.
Order. Let's get back to the business at hand here.
Oh.
So we have an amended motion on the floor. And we want to add, correct, Jeff, you want to add the verbiage pending procedure from the administration committee.
Correct.
So he's amending the amendment.
So he's changing his motion, his amendment, and the second to that amendment was Joe. And do you agree to that? Okay, so then is that true that I can also add that verbiage? I'll read it over.
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
My question is, okay, so we add that verbiage and it goes to committee to work with department heads. Is that right? And then.
Well, the admin committee can still bring it back and say it's President's Day.
Right, but
I mean, that's
what's-
discussion at that committee
If
level.
this
you know,
amendment
so-
is approved, does it still have to come back to
No.
full board, or are we done?
That would be a determination. So in the supervisor manual, it says if it's not a significant change to the handbook, you wouldn't bring it back as a full board thing. So this could be, you guys made a recommendation, you guys just do the verbiage back there. If you as an admin feel that it wasn't significant, you've clarified the rule and we move on.
So it's up to committee to decide whether it comes back to full board. Okay.
I mean,
So
we'll
everybody's
update
clear
the
if we
board.
do-
That's not a
need to,
problem. Yeah.
Spend time on this in the future.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Okay, you want to go ahead and read it one more time and then we'll vote?
Okay. Motion to amend Resolution 3, adopt revised Price County Employee Handbook and amend President's Day into a floating holiday for county employees pending procedure from the Administration Committee.
Okay, there's no further discussion. Go ahead and vote.
So the amendment passed to amend President's Day to a floating holiday for county employees pending the procedure from an admin committee. 7 yes, 6 no. And now we need to approve.
Could you tell us who the 6 no? Put that on the screen, please.
Put targets on people there.
I don't know if it was a screen. She might not have.
I was sharing. So
Oh, gosh.
I
yeah.
can't share. Okay, thank you. It'll take a moment. Thanks. Okay, public display.
Mr. Worko, what is the cost for giving everybody another vacation day?
Oh, geez.
I don't know.
There's
Probably too much.
technically there's no cost unless you the cost would be for your sheriff's department, your highway if they work on it, but because you're already budgeting, like, so you budget for an employee's wage for the year. If they take an additional day off, you're not incurring any additional cost. Where the cost would come is if you did it during like their shift, like the we talked about the
Cost would be
jail.
production.
Yeah, the production cost.
Okay, there you have it. Motion passed. So now we'll go back to the original resolution as amended. And any further discussion regarding that? Do you want it read back to you one more time, or is everybody clear?
Here's one.
Read it back, please.
Okay, will do. Motion. Oops, I'm sorry. Okay, we have motion Hodek, second Barkstrom, to adopt the revised Price County Employee Handbook and to amend President's Day to a floating holiday for county employees pending procedure from the Administration Committee.
Okay, we have a motion by Hodek and Barkstrom from the original. So unless there's further discussion, we'll go ahead and vote on as amended. Okay, we'll vote.
Resolution 34-25 passed 10 yes, 3 no, 0 abstain to approve the Price County Employee Handbook.
Okay. Resolution number 4, approve revisions to the County Board Supervisor Policy and Procedure Manual. Based on previous discussion, we're going to postpone this until our next meeting unless there's an objection.
This one you can't postpone. You have to at least set your wages. Papers are due. So I'm trying to think. We had a red copy. I could.
Well, this one's right here. This one's in the packet with the wages.
Oh, that one.
That one's,
I thought we were on the supervisor manual.
We're on number 4.
I thought we just did that one.
No, that was
Book employee.
Holy
handbook.
crikey,
employee
I'm sorry.
handbook.
Jeez,
Oh,
you'll catch up to.
Wow, I was writing notes on the side here. I was like,
I'll sleep Jordan or what?
no, I guess I thought we beat
Okay.
number 3 up enough. Oh my gosh. We'd moved on.
You want to go ahead and
I'm
No,
trying.
go over the
Hold on.
revisions?
I don't see the red.
I'm trying to find a red line copy. Supervisor.
Hang on. Was number 3 not the
That's the President's Day one. That's employee handbook.
number 3 was with the handbook with that the
Oops.
cell phone and the other policy, and then I thought when you brought up the changes, that was for the supervisor policy that were in red. No,
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 Oh, okay.
That was employee handbook.
Okay.
You guys.
Now
don't-
we're talking about the county board supervisor.
Okay.
All right, I'm opening it up. Give me a second here.
Okay. I gotta change my notes.
Microsoft Word, share. Okay, so the reason you guys have to do this every 2 years for sure, we sometimes do it more often, is prior to papers being taken out for an election year, you have to set wages. So the first thing that was discussed under the summary of board and supervisor policy and procedure manual was under Rule 2, meetings of the county board. Meetings other than the one on a Tuesday after the second Monday in November, which shall be held on the following Wednesday if that Tuesday falls on Veterans Day. So we did put a verbiage in there. This happens, I believe it's one every 10 years we figured out. So we won't have to have this problem for 10 more years, but it's in there now that like today, we're on a Wednesday instead of Tuesday. So that was the first change. The second change was rules for supervisor of Price County. This one came about because there are times where there's a committee meeting in the morning and then a council or a board type meeting in the afternoon. And some board members are sitting here for like 2-3 hours in between. It's not worth them going home. So right now you don't get a whole nother per diem. So they discussed it and said, if the second meeting begins more than 1.5 hours after the first meeting ends, the per diem for the second meeting shall be $75. So right now it would be $75.25. Now it's going to be $75.75. So if you have to wait more than 1.5 hours between meetings, you would get a second per diem. That's where that one came about. And those were the only two. Wages of the board are in the full packet, so there's not a separate resolution. Those stayed the same. So the board's chair salary stayed the same and per diems for each committee meeting. The chair of each committee gets that money stayed the same. So there's no changes. However, you need to pass the packet in order to take out papers for April's election.
Okay, we have a motion by Hodek, second by Spacek. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
Resolution 35-25 passed, 13 yes, 0 no. Or the revisions to the Price County Board Policy and Procedure Manual.
Okay, thank you. Resolution number 5, employee LTE wage schedule for interpreter wage differential came from administration. Whereas the administration committee has been charged by the Price County Board of Supervisors with the responsibility for all matters pertaining to salary and wages for all county employees, and has also been charged with the responsibility to review wage salary data and make appropriate recommendations and so on. Now therefore be it resolved that the Price County Board of Supervisors adopt the attached employee LTE wage schedule for interpreter wage differential, effective date of September 28th, 2025. We have a motion by Spacek, second by Wardco. Any discussion? Everybody understand what's being asked for here?
Yeah, just a question on
Go
the
ahead.
schedule. That's that $25 per hour, that item there? That's
Mhm.
what it is. Okay.
Correct. Yep.
All right.
Do you want to briefly,
Yeah, so this one came about because we are lucky to have a skilled employee that is bilingual. And instead of us going out for interpretive services when it's not a certifiable service, so if it's a courtroom, things like that, we have to use the court ordered people. But we've been lucky to have somebody who can help do interpretations when needed. So we recommended putting in place a wage enhancer or whatever we called it on the sheet for when that individual helps out. The most of it's maybe an hour here, hour there. It's not a lot, but saves us it's about $60 an hour if we call into the service. So this would be a significant savings to be able to utilize individuals to do this.
any discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
Can you see the screen?
I have a question.
Mr. Kokosch,
Why aren't we showing the vote up there?
she's
doing that
working
right
on it
now.
right now.
When I share it, kids are off.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Really, did that split screen? Because they're two different things. Maybe we need to have more TVs. We can do that.
It's all of them.
I got an idea. Throw these laptops out.
Nick was the employee that can speak 2 languages.
One right now is in the clerk's office.
It will not let me share. The screen failed to share. Able to share this time? Still share. I don't know.
Well, in the interest of time, do you want to just go ahead and can you read off who voted what? Is that acceptable?
Okay, so the motion is by Spacek, second by Worko. There's one more vote for Hastings. It's waiting for you. I'm sorry. Technical difficulties.
We were waiting.
Okay,
for the screen.
sounds good. No, failed. Yeah, so I shared screen too. Let me try it again. Okay.
So to clarify, you're making our
Bring the screen.
person in the
No.
clerk's office the default translator?
No,
Because
we
there's
have,
a lot of languages out there.
right, but we have, if we had other people with other languages, we'd use them. So right now, we just are lucky to have an individual. This is not a recruitment thing. This isn't, it's just that we're saving significant dollars by being able to utilize a skill set that this individual has.
What language does she speak?
Spanish.
What if it's not Spanish?
Then we'd call the service to, yep.
Unable to access camera.
I don't know why you're I made you a presenter.
If I hit share. Hold on. The screen share failed. Maybe that.
You can go back like a 85 Chevy up there. Crawling the hood and work on it.
I can read off everybody.
Let's just do that.
Let's just read off. Yeah, I'll try to work on it in the meantime. Okay. So.
It's like, oh, it's shared.
Okay, resolution number 36-25 passed 12 yes, 1 no for employee LT wage schedule for interpreter wage differential. The no's were Hastings and the rest were yes. I'm sorry to call people out, but yes.
Okay. We'll move on. Number 6, ratify the collective bargaining agreement between Price County and Price County Deputies Union WPPA Local 645 from administration. Motion by Hodek, second by Polachek. Whereas it is the responsibility of the Price County Administration Committee to negotiate labor agreement contracts, and whereas the Administration Committee has reached an agreement between Price County and Price County Deputies Union WPPA Local 645 for the 2026 contract, and so on. Now therefore be it resolved that the Price County Board of Supervisors ratify the collective bargaining agreement between Price County and Price County Deputies Union WPPA Local 645 covering the periods from January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2028. Already indicated the motion and second. Any discussion? Nick, you want to give a quick overview?
Yeah, so we met at administration. It took about 6 hours. We went in and out of the room about 12 times. It was a good conversation every time. In the end, we ended up at a enhancer of $1.50 the first year and 1%. So all the levels went up $1.50 and then 1% on January 1st. The next 2 years are 3%, 3%. We also negotiated that individuals can use negative sick leave on their first year of employment only because they don't add it doesn't add up upfront. So you earn it as you go. And they were worried for new employees, if they had something going on, they would be able to go negative. So they can do that for the first year. We also discussed during bereavement leave, we added language that if they were out for bereavement and needed an additional day or two, they could use sick leave. So that's new. It used to say you cannot use sick leave for bereavement. Other than that, those were the main discussion points along with the wages. So it was cordial. It was good. It all ended well. So.
And I'll let you know that my girlfriends had a birthday party luncheon for me, and they all enjoyed it without me there that day.
we kept thinking we were done, and then
Yep.
they'd come back in the room, and it was
Yep.
another half.
Yep.
Thought we were done. It was another half an hour, but overall, it worked out really well. So
Way it goes.
a little
See,
longer than 3 years ago. It was about 3 hours. So this one was a little longer. We're doing better than a lot of counties, which are at a year or more. So it's working out well. It worked out well.
Any more comments, discussions? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
And resolution number 37-25, ratify the collective bargaining agreement, passed 13 yes, 0 no.
Very good. Moving on, number 7, resolution. Adopt forestry and parks Big Falls projects to be funded with money transferred from the Capital Improvement Fund. Whereas it is the responsibility of the Price County Forestry and Parks Department to keep and maintain all Price County land, properties, and parks for the safe use by Price County residents, and whereas it has been determined that the following projects are necessary with anticipated approximate costs of Big Falls pit toilets, $95,000, lighting, $15,000. Now therefore be it resolved that the Price County Board of Supervisors approve the projects presented in the amount of $110,000 with county matching funds not to exceed $55,000 to be transferred from the Capital Improvement Fund. So either Mr. Hallstrand or Nick, you can embellish on this a little bit if you want to.
Before Bob asks, we'll do the math quick because it does. I said before you ask, we'll do the math because it doesn't add up. No, so the biggest thing on this one you'll see is the math doesn't necessarily add up the way you'd think it would. And that's because we have in-kind services. So we count our hours worked, our equipment fund towards that cash value. So for every dollar we use in equipment, we get $1 back in the grant. So that's why it's not, what is it, 85,000 out of the, or 110 out of the fund, because we know we have a bunch of in-kind work that we'll do, which we're still spending, but it's already budgeted because we budget that employee. And then also the equipment is, you can put a rate on it and charge for it for in-kind work. Materials, we get a lot back in material costs. So Joe has the forestry director has a pit where they can get like their pit run and put that in, so we can charge a stumpage fee towards that in-kind service.
So we're getting a stewardship grant in the amount of 85,000, blah, blah, blah. Up to.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what it says. It says in the amount of 85,000 with a 50-50 match. But
Right,
in
the
our
max.
portion, okay, what you just said, but
Yeah, the max of the stewardship grant would be 85,000, but we're only saying we're going to probably pay cash out of pocket 55 because we'll have all that in-kind work up to the 85. The whole project, I think, is 110 is what we kind of discussed.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't need all of that.
Okay.
But it's up to, and the reason this one came about is the stewardship grant reached out to us and said, hey, we still have some funds available. Do you have any projects ready to go? And so Joe always has his projects ready to go, sent them in, and then we get approved quickly on those type of things, which works out really nice.
And one of the toilets almost fell down last year. They braced it up.
Yeah,
So-
and this will also be solar out there to
And the
have
yeah,
a
the lighting
safety
will be
lights.
solar.
Any further discussion? Okay, there was a motion by Drobnik, second by Spacek. We'll go ahead and vote.
Resolution number 38-25, approve Forestry and Parks Capital Improvement Fund, passed 12 yes, 1 no.
Moving on, resolution number 8. Town of Worcester Bridge and Culvert Aid Request. Whereas the town of Worcester is requesting aid for design and installation of a new culvert on Springs Drive, 0.96 miles east of Highway 13. And whereas the Price County Highway and Transportation Committee has reviewed and approved the request and so on. Now therefore be it resolved that the Price County Board of Supervisors hereby approves the town of Worcester Bridge and Culvert Aid Request. Fiscal impact is $20,000. Municipal tax levy. Motion by Hodek, second by Drobnik. Any discussion? Mr. Kopish.
Yeah, going back to our prior discussion of bridge and culvert, this is being offset by the excess. Is that why it's not showing up in the levy then? Bridge and culvert aid,
This is for next year. So,
which is 2026, right? Are we talking 20?
but then we wouldn't collect till 2027.
Oh, okay,
Because we
that's why
paid,
it's,
so we're the fiscal agent the first year, and
okay.
then once the project's done, we collect
This
all
will
the
affect
bills.
us in 2027.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote.
Resolution number 39-25, Town of Worcester Bridge and Culvert Aid, passed 13 yes, 0 no.
Okay, next agenda, appointments. Price County Board of Canvas, 2-year term, 2026 to 2027. Sandra Bailing and Shirley Smith. This is just for information only. Any questions? Does the board have to approve of this?
Minutes, if, I don't know, was it your appointment or was it a board appointment?
My appointment.
Oh, then it just needs
Clerks,
to be in the
it's
minutes.
just to be noted.
Yep.
Okay, next up, reports, Forestry and Parks, 2026 Annual Work Plan. Mr. Houseman, got any comments?
Nothing in our packet about it, but
That's just an information piece
it's
around
correct.
file, correct?
It's just info.
Yeah, just information.
It basically is a plan that we have to put together every year to submit that's got any future projects or any community projects that they have reached out to us to add into our forestry and parks plan. If they plan on applying for grants or anything like that, their projects need to be in our plan.
I did email that. And that was also emailed electronically to everyone, but not printed.
Do we have to vote to accept this?
I think just
I think
Just on file, well, because I saw you putting something up there. Okay, moving on, if there's no further discussion or questions regarding the Forestry and Parks Work Plan, we'll move on to number 2, report, Land Information Council, revised 2025-2027 Land Info Plan. Mr. Barstrom, you have any comments? To your committee? Or anybody else?
Do you have any comments on the land information plan?
Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay,
That's not,
it's not?
he's land use.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Disregard that question.
Disregard. I apologize.
I know, yeah.
Close.
Okay, those are just to be noted. Okay, miscellaneous, standardized committee meeting calendar.
Always welcome.
That should be in your packet.
The calendar?
Yeah, so we at admin, they reviewed it. We put it again. It worked really well last year, just so everybody who's, in this case, it would be an election year, but anybody who's on a committee or anybody who's on a board, they know ahead of time so you can plan doctor's appointments or vacations or things like that. Because this is when your committees would meet or a committee would meet, depending on what committee the individuals are on. So it worked really well last year. So we continued the process through admin.
Any comments regarding that? Okay, move on. Committee of the Whole. Board Chair report. Over the last month, I'd say there's been nothing new or out of the ordinary. I attended as many committee meetings as I could. I sat in on the union negotiations, and in my opinion, they went well for both parties. Observed and participated in discussion at forestry regarding the current managed forest lands and a group of investors that want to get that changed to a conservatory. And that would mean that the government, the feds, and the Knowles Nelson Fund would reimburse them $250 an acre to put this land in.
Hold on a second, Brad. You and Meredith called it a fund. It's not a fund. It's taxpayer dollars.
Well, that's what it's referred to, isn't it?
Those are our taxpayer dollars.
Correct. Okay, moving. Anyway, they're requesting the board's approval ultimately to get reimbursed $250 an acre. 75% would be from the feds, and that other 25% would come from Knowles Nelson. That was my understanding after having discussion with the intermediary between them and the DNR yesterday. It was presented to forestry. They tabled it. We've had discussions, and I've talked to Mr. Barstrom, and we're going to put it on the land use committee agenda. They will come and give a presentation more in depth so we know exactly how, if at all, this will affect our county tax collections. So this is just for information right now. I just want to let everybody know I'm trying to stay on top of it and I'm participating in it. What they're asking for is to get reimbursed this money so they keep their land undeveloped. So it can't be sold off and partitioned off, subdivided.
I'm out. So we tabled this and now you're going to take it back to another committee?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I don't think that's
what was
correct.
tabled was that original resolution.
Yep.
You could bring back a different resolution. I think what the request from, and I haven't been involved with this, but from what I've heard is I don't think they were requesting a resolution to be looked at from that point. I think they were hoping to present stuff. Ultimately, when I talked to Jeff as the chair of the forestry, we looked at it and it's not really a forestry item. Forestry would be our county parks, our county forest. We have a zoning and land use, so land conservation committee, and that would be more what this would be under, would be land conservation or zoning. So I guess through Brian, you talked to him, I didn't, but they've requested to actually make their presentation. Because I think the first time they came, they just kind of introduced themselves. They sent a resolution to Meredith. Meredith sent it to Jeff. Jeff put it on the agenda, and it kind of, I think, rolled faster than what they knew was happening. But that's up to the land use
My
chair.
intent here is not to promote it or be against it. It's just that I think they have more information to offer. We can make a better decision rather than just let it go.
Well, I think one committee's heard two presentations from them. I think it should stick at that committee,
Well,
not go to a completely different
One was
committee
an
to have
official
multiple-
presentation. The other one was just online.
Okay, well,
And we didn't-
when there was 4 gentlemen in the room giving us a presentation, I thought that was a presentation.
It was.
So, but that wasn't official?
Yes, it was. That you said
Oh,
there
okay.
was 2. The second one was
The
last
first
forestry
first
meeting,
time.
my mind.
And I guess I thought you just said that the first one wasn't an official presentation.
Oh, no, I
right?
did not say that.
Okay.
If it came out
Okay.
that way, I
Okay.
apologize.
Well, I assumed that was the presentation, and then the last time when it was a discussion with them not being here, it was over the phone. I thought we made a motion to table it. I
You
thought it
did
would-
in forestry, yes.
Okay, so it's getting moved to a different committee. I just want to
I,
understand. that.
I
Okay.
asked the committee chair to consider it and he said he would.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't, not saying I'm for it or against it personally, or as a representative of District 13. I just think there's more information to be had before we make a final decision.
Okay.
Okay.
And you hold the authority to do that, Brian?
Pardon?
You hold the authority to do that?
Yes. Mr. Barstrom has the authority to put whatever he wants on the agenda. And as far as I've been told, I can actually force it if I need to or want to onto his agenda as chair. And if I'm wrong, correct me.
That's my understanding. We also discussed, should it go on executive, because it had to do with the county, but it makes more sense in land conservation and zoning, because that would be a land rule or a land issue. So that's why it.
And perhaps it should have been on that committee to begin with.
Probably.
It depends on what we are looking at it, because if you're looking at it from an economic standpoint, it should be in the executive.
But I don't know if it's an economic issue per
I do.
se.
In my mind, right now, it's not economic, at least as I understand it, because they're going to still leave it in managed forest land. So their tax, it's not tax status isn't going to change. Stravnik, do you have something to say?
Well, maybe, since I was sitting in my car listening to this on that whole first trip up, just saying, could be a little foggy, but weren't they originally looking for us to support them? Not like actually anything from it. It was more like how we're wanting SNAP benefits and all that, how we're in support of that is what they were originally looking for.
And that's what they
correct?
still are
That's what they're
looking
still
for.
looking for, yeah.
They're still looking for that. Because
Okay.
if the board approves the resolution, basically we're saying that we're okay with it, but we're not authorizing anything. It's just letting the DNR and the federal government know that there's no objection at the county level. That's the way I
Yeah,
understand
and I
it.
believe the municipality is looking at it. I know there's 2 surrounding counties that it affects. They've either looked at it or are looking at it. I think some have already passed a supporting documentation. The other thing we talked about, I talked to Jeff about, is I know one of the bigger concerns is how will this affect the general taxpayer? Like if the assessed value changes, it would affect everybody in that municipality, that type of thing. So we talked about bringing in the assessor just to say, if this were to happen, does that change the assessment of this? I didn't know it was an MFL, so that changes things a
Yeah,
lot
I
too.
didn't know that either until yesterday when I talked to this gentleman.
So he's saying it does not change out of MFL.
That's what he
Into a
indicated.
conservation
I mean,
easement.
we're going to press them on that. At least I am. If they come and present as they indicated they want to, because if it stays in MFL, nothing's going to change basically, except they'd never be able to develop it.
Under what authority does the land conservation committee have to object against it and it be the final decision?
I don't know. I can't answer
It'll
that.
come back to the board.
Yeah, it'll
after.
go to the full board.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Or
yeah,
not
it's
committee.
just in going to committee. I mean, at the county level, we discuss it at the committee, and if the committee votes it down,
We already
it's
did.
dead.
Well, no.
Different committee.
You tabled it. Yeah.
It was tabled.
Mhm.
So this is a different committee.
So
I'm not trying to end run anything. I think there's more information to be had.
It's
tabling,
unethical.
tabling of a resolution does not kill the discussion. It kills the resolution. But you could bring that exact same resolution with one word changed and it's a new resolution. Not saying that's what's happening.
Is that what you're
but
doing?
I'm not doing anything, Jason.
You're doing the talking.
I'm trying to educate the board on what is happening, yes.
Well, let me ask this. Oh, Mr. Copus, go ahead.
You're talking all this tabling. Tabling is within a meeting. So if you tabled it and you adjourn the meeting, basically it's
Yep, so
it's
it
dead.
died on the table. Yep.
Okay.
But
So
yes.
that does not mean it dies permanently.
no, it can
Yeah.
come up
Correct.
somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it died in the meeting, and that's what we discussed at the meeting, that it was put on the table. Nobody brought it back during that meeting. That's what the intent is. And it didn't come back, so it dies on the table. That does not mean it couldn't come back in a different form or a different spot.
We're getting sidelined here on this because I'm giving my chair report, but I think it's still good discussion, and that's why we should maybe talk about it a little more. But if everybody feels they don't want to waste any more time on it, we'll just leave it tabled.
Yeah, just a comment. I kind of agree with Jason on where it should be, and I'm not sure it should be at land conservation either, but you got to decide where it goes, so where it best fits.
Okay, I'm going to leave it as it is.
Yeah, so whatever.
Okay. All right, moving on. Carbon credits, last I heard they're on the market. We have not heard if any have been sold, so I can't give you any more of an update than that. Bug tussle, there's no construction been done yet, but they did put in for a draw on some of the bond, if I correct.
Not a draw. It was, so we get our yearly payment of $60,000, well, 40 basis points on the outstanding principal. So they draw on the interest to pay that it was $60,000 in this case. So we received our $60,000 or other 30. So $60,000 payment. I have been working with Bug Tussle. We are making sure once they do start the project, we're all on the same page on what our tower project looks like, what our area that we get to be on it, who has access, who maintains what the expectation, like we're not paying for a generator because we don't need a generator. We want X, Y, or Z. So I did send that out a couple weeks ago. I have not heard back from Bug Tussle on what their response is, but it's not outlandish. It's just clarifying, who's doing the snow removal so that everybody has access if there's a issue with our sheriff's department tower stuff.
Okay, that's all I have for chair report. Fund administrator report. 2A, 2025 financial summary and updates.
Sure. So we talked about this in executive, should be in your packet. We're through October. October was a 3 payroll month, so some areas are a little bit higher than normal, but that'll go back down with the final 2 months. Nothing's jumping out at us. Sheriff's Department, jail. We've talked about that every month. Just that there's costs that have been inquired throughout the year based on some bigger cases. Forestry is doing really well. We'll see that in a minute. Forestry looks like it has a ton of expenses, but that'll be fixed at the end of the year because they're spending grant money, and then we'll put a revenue to offset that grant, or we'll do an amendment or a journal adjusting journal entry to show that you guys agreed to those grants or those expenditures. It'll then bring it back down to where the budget was. As far as public health, we were hoping to get 2 of the individuals off the high cost placements. That did not happen. We do think one will still be going off, but we do see another one coming on. So we believe through the end of the year, we'll still have 2 high cost placements. Behavioral health, again, we'll see those charts in a second, is below cost. So overall, we're above the total, but not too bad. Other funds, so animal control, vet service, airport, animal control. I got to thank Catkins again. They are a great partner. We've had a long couple weeks with some houses with multiple animals. Everybody with those animals has surrendered them, so that's very helpful. So we don't have, I think, for those who were on the board, I think it was 2 years ago, we had a situation where somebody wasn't surrendering their cats, and then we pay per cat per day, and it ended up being like $40,000 while we went through the court cases. In this situation, so far everybody's surrendered. They're working. Catkins is coming out at 2 a.m. to help us. They've been a great partner. We had a situation where we had like goats and hedgehogs and some weird squirrels, some weird stuff lately. So again, great partner. It's worked out really, really well to continue to partner with them. Mindy continues to have the highest call rate over in the sheriff's department. Animals are just a hot issue right now. Highway, knock on wood, as long as the storms don't start coming, we're doing really well there. I got a ton done with maintenance and construction this year. We'll be talking at the highway department about some expenses whenever we meet again, but nothing major there. It's doing well. Price County's cash, It didn't show up on this October one. It might show up on the November one, depending on when we get our shared revenue. But we wrote a check for $2.8 million for asphalt. So that'll eat into our cash quite a bit. But then we have our shared revenue, which is over $1 million will come in, and then our loans will come in. So we'll bounce right back, but we may see a lower November than normal just because of the timing of when the bills came in and when we get our cash back. Sales tax, we're through August. We're always 2 months behind there. We're 2.5% above last year, which is $22,589. We're about $2,000 ahead of August last year, as in month to month. It's still one of our best, well, it is our best August in the last 5 years. So $149,818. Right now, we don't see an issue with hitting our budget, so that's a positive. Stumpage, talked earlier about this. We're at $1.3 million, which is higher than we've been since 2019, which is what we give you as the record. I could look back farther, but that's what we give you in front of you. So we're 91% above last year at this time. We've hit our budgeted number, which makes up for last year. So last year we were at $684,000. This year we're at $1.3 million. You average it out, and that's where, again, we work on a long-term average for them. High cost placements, I talked about that, where you can see we're much higher than previous year. It's because we have two individuals that are high cost right now. Again, we don't see that going away. AODA high cost placements, we're well below. We talk about that. It just depends on where you classify each individual, whether it's a behavioral health issue or just a children and youth issue. So some years it's going to be high in one and other years it's going to be high in the other, but we budget kind of an average between the two. Health insurance, we are in the red, but we're not doing too bad. I know there was 3 or 4 large checks that came in from our stop loss, so we should be about broke even. Again, we're doing better than if we were fully insured because they make a minimum of 15. They're allowed to make 15% on us, so they would be charging us a minimum of 15% more to make sure they hit their numbers. We've made multiple changes going into next year's health insurance to kind of, again, maintain this, but maybe gain a little also. Right now is our open enrollment. So we have another couple days for that, for employees to enroll. We've done benefits fairs. We've done all employee meetings in order to educate individuals on healthcare. We're really taking a different approach that the user needs to be well aware. We have a new program called Health 360. So if you're getting certain procedures, you go on this app and it'll tell you where the best value is to go for the county. And then if you choose one of those places, so for example, if I was having knee surgery and I plan on going to Marshfield, it might be $100,000. But if I go over to Oakleaf, it might be $30,000. We'll pay the employee 25% of the difference, up to $5,000 to choose Oakleaf, because the county will save $70,000, which is a huge benefit. So we're also using tailored more and more. The more people see that, the more they'll enjoy it. It's in and out. We pay 100% of it. This year we've saved over $300,000 or $400,000 by having employees go there. So it's been a huge benefit to us. Any questions on 2025? We're nearing the end. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Next up is 2026 budget update. We already voted on that.
Yeah, there's nothing on that. It's just we passed the budget today.
Yeah.
So what that'll do is we'll do all the paperwork. We'll get it to the newspaper. We'll get it to the municipalities. We'll get it to everybody that needs to get it by the 15th, I believe it is. And then we'll wait till it's about mid-December. You'll see tax bills go out. Every year.
Okay, moving on. Committee chair reports. Mr. Rocco, administration.
Yeah, everything that we worked on was handled in resolutions 2 through 6 on the agenda. So I think we had ample discussion on
Okay.
them items. I don't think we need any more. So that's all I've got.
Okay, any questions? Okay, move on. Executive committee, that'd be me. We had the public hearing regarding parcel IDs, and we had another one today, and we voted on that. We heard the treasurer's report, routine, pretty much. properties that were in REM that were in the auction, sold 5 for, which had money left over. So if they find the people that the money belongs to, they will send them that money. Otherwise, it goes to the state. Correct?
Yep. So sales ended. We have to wait till the payment comes in, but then we cut a check to the previous owner. If it comes back, then it goes to the state as unclaimed funds. But
And
we
then
get
for
everything.
any properties that didn't sell, they're going to go on in what, phase 2 they call it?
Yes, it'll be the third. So what we'll be doing is at the next executive committee meeting, we'll ask what you want to set those 2 properties at. So if it's $100 and see where it goes, it might be $1,000. It'll be up to that executive committee.
Register of Deeds also gave her report, monthly transactions. The clerk gave an update on her activities. The administrator presented reports, which we just went through just now. Went over the final draft of the budget. Updated us on new software being implemented. Any comments on that?
We have 2 new software, so I'm not sure one of the 2. This was the financial one, but we are working on Transcendent. So it'll be 1 year from now. We currently use Novus for our tax software. We're a consortium of 5, now 4. When we go out of the consortium, will be 3 left, but we're using Transcendent. It'll cost about the same, but it's just a different service. It'll connect to the state a little bit differently and better. So that's where Transcendent is. And then our fiscal software, Civic Systems, Cassell, we recently signed an agreement to go onto the cloud, so it allows access anywhere. It also has better cybersecurity. We also save a bunch of money because we don't have to have a local server running that. So we'll see if we'll probably break even because it was a couple $100 more a month to have it do it that way than what we currently pay. However, TJ's cost will be reduced significantly because we don't have the cost of the server and all the maintenance there.
Okay, thanks. The balance of the executive committee meeting was had to do with the ordinance and resolutions presented here today. There's a question over here.
Yeah, I was wondering, what if the computers crash in all of our private property, which is in the computer, goes bye-bye? Is there, I mean, how do the register of deeds is totally under a computer? Is that what I'm gathering?
Yep, and so is everybody else. So
But they're all
what we
backed
have
up
is multiple
off-site.
backups. So we have every 15 minutes, we have a backup. Every hour, we have a backup. Every day and every month, and then every week, I think. So, and it's all located in, so we have 3 places amongst the county that we have a server. It's backed up in each one. So if like the whole building or the server goes down in one building, none of our employees will know the difference because it just switches over to the next one. If we were to lose all our information, we actually have an off-site. So say this whole building got taken out by a fire, we have a whole nother site with all our information. So it's down south in different county. We hold their information, they hold our information as a courtesy.
Very good.
It's a valid concern, but it's all being handled, it sounds like. Yep. I don't have anything else for the executive unless there's questions. Hearing none, we'll move on. Forestry Parks, Buildings and Grounds. Mr. Hallstrat.
Okay, so buildings and grounds, Josh is finishing up all his fall PMs, getting ready for winter. Obviously, he's working on the RSVP, however you want to say it, the request for proposal for RFP for the electrical system yet. He has concerns about it, but he doesn't feel we're in jeopardy if it's going to go out right now. So they're working on putting that proposal together. Otherwise, he's just been kind of getting ready for the winter and getting stuff cleaned up. And obviously the boilers are working because there's heat here today. So that's a good thing. Forestry and parks. We have currently 7 active sales according to Joe. So that stumpage number that you heard is doing really well this year. I anticipate it being one of our more productive years we've ever had because, well, we haven't had any rain. Things are going good for the guys in the woods right now. So Solberg Campground expansion, he said the utility building shell is complete. Electrical work still needs to be worked on that. Playground is scheduled to be installed next week. Fall timber sales went out for bid at our last meeting. So we'll be getting that back in our December meeting. Steve Creek flowage plans are being finalized and that'll be bid out as well. Cranberry Creek, they're working on the engineering plan for the Cranberry Creek flowage for that pipe to be put in. We did also have a pretty lengthy discussion on the conservatory, issue up in the northern part of the county, and it was tabled, and so it died. And the discussion was had afterwards, listening to what the project really entails. I didn't see how it affected forestry and parks. It was more of a land use issue. I mean, it's this company is changing what they're going to utilize the land for. It'll still be an MFL, but they're going to put it into a conservatory so it can never be built on or developed. And so we felt at that point that that's why it was kicked into the land use committee if they so chose to bring it up. Otherwise, it was going to be a dead issue. So, but that's it. Any other questions for forestry and parks, buildings and grounds?
Okay,
Thank
thank you. Moving on, Health and Human Services.
Health and
Ms. Hope.
Human Services had their meeting on November 5th, beginning with a public hearing for 2026 Specialized Transportation Assistance Program for counties. I opened the meeting with that at 9 o'clock and read the legal notice, and then there were no public comment. Hearing closed at 9:02, my kind of meeting. Then we went to, we had comment, public health. Tiffany Polachek, first of all, Susie Daniels gave a presentation on her Partnership for Success grant, year one. The Price has a 5-year grant from September 30th, 2024 through the 29th, 2029 of September 30th, focusing on underage drinking prevention and mental health for youth aged 14, 12, 21 years. She apprised of some of the things that she had seen. Price County does have some high cases, so there's a discussion, just a discussion that will be on possibly creating an ordinance addressing parental ability to serve minors alcohol at restaurants in the county. Just something to look at. Well water, Tiffany Polachek spoke with a well water update from the DNR, discussed the well water update from the PFAS testing was completed through the Emerging Contaminant Scientists through the UW grant, Sea Grant, and tested Price, Rock, and Dodge counties. They were offered to 40 Price County residents, and 20 who responded were performed. 2 were identified at high levels of PFAS. The DNR took care of 2 and recommended not using their water for drinking. They were eligible to receive home bottled water through DNR for 6 months. Information was given to contact the DNR for follow-up. There were a couple residents prior to August who had high levels of manganese, and they were referred for new wells. High levels of manganese can cause neurological problems. We had Aging and Disability Senior Services Unit. Chris Mabey reported on the 2026 application for the 8521 Department of Transportation grant, the DOT grant, and that encompasses the BART buses of Phillips, Park Falls, and bus to Minocqua and Woodruff. We had an award contract for a nutritional program. Chris Mabey talked about the 2026 contract for nutrition program. RFP was awarded to the Phillips Cafe. They will be providing food services for our senior sites at $5.45 per plate. And I just made an add-on to that at the meeting that since I was way back in the schools and working with the after-school programs and the title programs, Phillips Cafe always was very willing to provide us with meals that were no more than $5. So from that to now $5.45, I think they're really good community-minded people for us here. We should be very happy to have them. Senior Citizens Quarterly Report. Chris Mabey presented the Senior Services Quarterly Report for July, August, and September, and of 2025, including nutrition. Chris Mabey then talked about the Nutrition Advisory Committee, NAC, and they met on October 30th at the Peace Center in Park Falls, reviewed the meal site statistics. They go through all the meals, they talk about it, they talk about the results that come from any of the surveys and what the people like of the foods and what they don't. So that's always really important to see. Economic support, we had Jenny Shu come in, talked about the third quarter monthly estimate report for economic support. And she also spoke to the SNAP funding and the food benefits. And of course, we all know that there are mixed messages going on out there, and whether we will be receiving benefits in full, partial, or at all in November due to the government shutdown. Fiscal Administrative Unit, Carrie Hammond, well, you've seen the reports of the high cost placements that came to you. So those were the reports that we received. Sarah Reese Soha gave her director's report. Birth to 3 was audited in August and they were found to be 100% compliance, which is an excellent report. So good job over there. The first Senior Living Expo was a huge success with around 120 attendees. The girls and the gals all over there and Shay, they were all blown away with. It was a packed place. 27 door prizes were awarded, public health administered, 27 flu shots, 10 vital checks, 1 memory screen was given. A lot of positive feedback was received from attendees and vendors, and they're looking to do it again next year. A lot of excitement about that. Our next meeting will be January 14th, unless it's necessary to have one in December. We did go into a closed session just to discuss the general abatement order down in the town of Ogama property. The meeting was adjourned at 10:53. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hodak. Next up, Highway Transportation, Mr. Palachek.
Highway crew has been patching, also brushing around bridges, have been boom mowing on State Highway 86. Did mix some salt sand in preparation for winter and stockpiled over 3,000 tons. The new signs for County Trunk Highway R, R, C, M, and D projects have all gone up, completing the part of the projects. County Trunk Old Bridge opened up on November 6th. We stopped there on our road tour, and it's a very, very good construction project. The contractor did a good job. The shop is working on converting trucks for winter maintenance. Overhead door in the rock building has been installed. Seasonal equipment being maintained and prepped for storage for the winter. The build of the next 2 county plow trucks started the first week of October. Airport has been working on regular maintenance. They are preparing for winter maintenance. Dams are all in good condition. A new staff gauge was installed on Prentice Dam. Winter drawdown was completed by October 1st, which is the date required by the Wisconsin DNR to ensure survival of hibernating reptiles and amphibians. All county board members are invited to our Christmas party, which is December 16th at 1 p.m. That's on a Tuesday. Our next meeting date is to be determined. Our road tour had
I got a box.
three other board members other than committee members. It was, I think, well attended. It was a good board, a good fall road tour. We need to keep up on our maintenance plan. Are there any questions?
Not a question, but a comment. I came back from an appointment last week, Paula, and when you asked what the one attachment was along the fence up by the salt shed, they were actually using it to clean around the guardrail down by Prentice. I thought it was very interesting because we were looking at it and you're like, what's that for? And Roger had said it's for cleaning around guardrails. And I came back from a meeting last week down in Medford, and by Prentice, they had that attachment on the bucket of the grate all, and they were moving the dirt away. And I'm like, what are the odds of that we just had the road tour and talked about it? So, yep. Meredith even got to ride along, and she got to see a lot
Meredith
of the
went along.
Got to see a lot of the rough countryside. I mean, smooth
Said
countryside.
it was well worth the price of admission.
I would go back. I would go next
Well,
year.
you'd be welcome.
Just for lunch, right?
and
We're
and
just gonna
Rustic
skip
Road was very
J&N
beautiful.
though. We're gonna skip J&N though.
Next time, yeah.
Yeah. If I was taller, I'd have hit my head on the ceiling.
Moving right along. Anything else for Mr. Palachek? Not, thank you. F, Land Use and UW Extension, Mr. Barkstrom.
Okay, we held our meeting on October 23rd. We held one hearing, which is a proposal for a storage shed 40 feet to the center line of Blockhouse Lake Road, town of Eisenstein. That special exemptions permit was approved. We approved land divisions, town of Amory, 4 lots, 1 lot, town of Knox, and 1 lot in the town of Worcester. We also approved a plat, which is called the Red Pine subdivision in the town of Worcester. That was the land use report. On land conservation, there was DNR people here. We approved the DNR 2025 crop price proposals. And the DNR brought forth a recommendation to remove one Price County farm from the WDACP. And what that is wildlife damage and claims program for this year and next year. The reason was non-compliance from program guidance, and it required committee approval, and that was approved. The first land sales concluded on October 15th. 5 parcels were sold, 10 parcels remain, and were put up for auction. That will conclude today.
Yesterday.
It's
already done. Yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay, UW Extension. We heard a report from UW educator Julie Diepenbrock. She's primarily about 4-H activities held throughout the past summer. We share Julie's time with Taylor County, so we have a half a person for UW Extension educator. We also heard a report from the FoodWise educator, Wendy Rebney. Wendy's position is winding down with funding ending October 1. The summer highlight was a Park Falls Garden program. Discussions on this topic and others could be brought forward in the future. The Reality Fair has been rescheduled again to February 4th in Phillips for juniors and seniors, and it's primarily because of their resources and with people to do it. I'm going to report on the concrete park. Sure. I'm on the committee, but much work has been accomplished on restoration and preservation of the park and tavern. If you get a chance to drive by, go in and look. There's signage is great, and we've got a good project manager there. The resources has become a worldwide destination. There's all kinds of people from different countries and different states that come there and see that. The utilization of the tavern has been a challenge. Right now, it's scheduled to be open the first and third Friday of each month. So if you get a chance, stop in and support them. There's some structural damage that needs to be looked into. Underneath the basement is dirt floor and whatnot. It's over 100 years old. So other opportunities for that tavern would be private parties. So that ends my report.
Mr. Hallstrand.
If that property sale ended yesterday, how many of those 10 properties sold?
All but 2. I can't. It was a vacant land in Park Falls and a house in Fifield that didn't sell.
The house in Fifield didn't sell?
No.
That was top notch.
The Prentice house sold, which we were surprised. The land sold for like $80,000. That 40 acres.
Really?
5R property?
66,000. The slivers sold the first time. So yeah, 8 out of the 10.
Those monies go first for our expenses, and then it goes to the landowner, and then it goes if it's not.
Yeah, so we started all the bids high at what we are owed between the taxes, specials, anything like that. So if all of these that sold covered our costs, we received that. It's the 2 that didn't, that has to go back to executive to set a price, whether it's the same price or lower price or however they want to do it.
Any other questions regarding land use or UW?
Oh, that wasn't for
Mr.
that.
Hastings.
It wasn't for that committee. No, I was curious about the supervisor policy manual. Where am I finding that social media policy in here? Correct?
Not your supervisor manual.
Okay.
The admin manual.
What is this printed for?
That one you guys approved today because that's your manual.
Okay, gotcha.
The admin manual, you guys
I gotta go back and dig that up in, where?
I think Jules handed it out.
We can print it for you right after the meeting.
I don't think my computer is fast enough to load all those buttons and all of the, like if you send a single email.
Oh,
and
the
there's
PDFs?
6 different attachments, you gotta have really fast. I don't know if that's what's going on or not.
Let's talk about that after this meeting. Okay? Next up, if we're done with land use, we'll go to law enforcement. Mr. Palchek. Thank you, Mr. Barstrom.
Our next meeting is tomorrow. I have nothing to report. Maybe Bob would get
Yeah,
up and
Bobby has. would
our
like to
chief deputy
talk
would have something to say. Thanks, Bob.
So just to address my earlier break, you guys didn't break me. I just had to use the restroom. So I'm a little stronger than that. Thank you. Well, thank you for letting me just talk real quick. It's just an announcement. So today we're working in partnership with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office at the Phillips School. They're doing a training on internet crimes against children and sextortion. So they'll be meeting with the middle school and high schoolers and basically educating them on what sextortion is, things to look out for if you happen to become a victim of it, you know, what you should be doing there. Tonight, starting at 5:30 in the Performing Arts Center at the Phillips School is the session for the parents. So I would encourage anyone that's listening out there or anyone that has children, grandchildren, I would encourage you guys to attend that training. It is a very good training. It's very important, especially if you look at the case that recently occurred in Wausau with the child that fell victim to that and ultimately took his own life as a result of it. That's what we're looking to prevent here. So I would encourage anyone that does have children or grandchildren to attend that training. Yes.
I don't think I can make that. Is there, is it being recorded at all or?
That I don't know.
provided?
I'll find that out for you and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yep. So any other questions? Yep.
I know. I did. Just a Phillips school?
It's just that, so the area schools are coming to Phillips for this,
Okay.
for this training, but yes, it is only at the Phillips school tonight.
But the other ones are invited.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else?
Any other questions? All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the update. Well, that ends our committee chair reports. We'll convene out of the committee of the whole. If anybody has anything to, they want to see on an agenda in the future, let me know. And if there's nothing else to be said, I'm going to hereby, next meeting's February 17th, 9 o'clock in this same room. And at that, I'm going to adjourn. Thank you for coming.